We are at the Nasal Space Observatory. The famous scientists, Professor Papaia, Dr. Banani, Engineer Ravioli, and their assistant Igor, are working as usual, between one measurement and another. Ravioli, guys, something curious happened to me. I was at the used book stand, and I saw a book on sale. Banani, the book was used, and also on sale? Ravioli, let's just say the previous owner was overly fond of coffee. Anyway, the book is titled, 5 Minimal Facts About the Resurrection of Christ. Papaia, I didn't know you were interested in that kind of topic. Ravioli, actually, I bought it by mistake. I misread the title. I was thinking it was a cookbook. Banani, what did you read? Ravioli, 5 minty tarts from the restaurants of Cyprus. Banani, but that's completely different. How did you make such a mistake? Ravioli, well, it was lunchtime. As they say, I was so hungry I couldn't see straight. Papaia, yes, but in the end, did you read it? Ravioli, I just started. I find these superstitions that some people still believe in the 21st century quite amusing. Papaia, no one can deny that Jesus was the most important figure in all of history. Banani, that's true. We can't underestimate his impact on history. Igor, when Ravioli is hungry, it's best to keep him away from the chemistry lab, otherwise, thinking he's in the kitchen, he might create an explosive recipe. We are at the observatory. The scientists are working with the utmost concentration. Suddenly, Papaia slaps his forehead loudly. The others jump up, scared and wide-eyed. Banani, what happened, Papaia? Papaia, oh, no. How could I forget the dark matter conference? It's tomorrow. Ravioli, Papaia. That conference is crucial, we can't miss it. Banani, if we don't go, we'll fall behind the others. Papaia, wait. Let me check my agenda. Yes, it's as I thought. Do you want the good news or the bad news first? Ravioli, what's the good news? Papaia, we have the tickets. Banani, sighs in relief, and the bad news. Papaia, the flight is in 2 hours. The scientists rush to pack their bags. As they quickly gather their personal belongings, the discussion about the book continues. Banani, so, in this book you're reading, the author claims there's real evidence that Jesus rose from the dead. Ravioli, it seems so. I kept reading because the author treats the New Testament as a series of historical texts, not as religious dogma. Papaia, from what I've heard, everyone says the Bible is full of errors, but I've never actually read it myself. The three continue to fill their suitcases with unnecessary and superfluous items. Igor comments, gentlemen, don't you think it's a bit excessive to bring all these things? Isn't just a notepad enough to take notes? But since they are focused on packing, none of them responds. Igor, maybe the conference will help shed light on the confusion in their minds. In fact, more than brilliant, their minds seem to contain dark matter. We are at the observatory. Papaia is on the phone with the taxi dispatch. The others, having finished gathering their tools, are trying to close their overstuffed suitcases as quickly as possible. While they are closing their luggage, they are talking about Ravioli's book. Banani, regarding the criticisms of the Gospels, I once saw a TV program where experts pointed out errors in the Gospels. According to them, they were written much later by anonymous authors. Ravioli, it's actually the studies of those experts that the author uses as material. Banani has forced the suitcase zippers too much. Banani, damn. All the zippers broke. Papaia, hurry. Let's go downstairs, the taxi is arriving. They run outside to wait. We are on the stairs. Banani, the elevator is out of order. Papaia, quick. Let's take the stairs. As they rush down the stairs, they trip over their suitcases, which burst open, spilling all their contents onto the staircase. The scientists tumble down the stairs, overwhelmed by the avalanche of clothes mixed with their tools. Igor, watching them struggle to get back on their feet, comments, "It looks like today's science has taken quite a tumble." We are on the sidewalk, in front of the observatory. The group is ready with their luggage in front of the lab, waiting for the taxi. The wait is longer than expected. Papaia, did you take everything? The other two nod distractedly and continue their conversation about the book. Banani, so, in the words of the same liberal scholars, the author finds evidence of the resurrection? How is that possible if liberals, like us, don't believe in the resurrection? Ravioli, it's not about wordplay, but about certain facts that these scholars consider true. The author calls them minimal facts. Banani, so it's based on their opinion? Ravioli, according to the author, scholars base their conclusions on concrete evidence to determine if a fact is true or not. Papaia, from what I know, the resurrection is just a legend, invented by the church to take money from the simpletons who believe in it. Igor, after all the foolish things I've seen these doctors do, the definition of simpleton becomes a very relative concept. We are on the sidewalk, in front of the observatory. The taxi is arriving. Papaia, start loading up, we don't have time to lose. Taxi driver, oh, no. Are you crazy? Where are we supposed to put all that luggage? Banani, I told you, Ravioli, not to bring the portable particle accelerator. Ravioli, listen to who's talking. The one who brought the radio telescope. Papaia, stop it immediately. Mr. Taxi Driver, if you could look the other way, we can pay you a hefty tip. Taxi driver, fine. But you must hurry up. After filling the trunk, the four squeeze inside the cabin, completely buried by their luggage. Taxi driver, so. Are you ready to go? Ravioli, wait. I forgot my passport upstairs in the office. Banani, what? Now we'll have to take everything out again. Taxi driver, I'm already regretting accepting your offer. Papaia, yes. But we paid the tip in advance. Ravioli manages to get out of the taxi, spilling the contents of several suitcases onto the sidewalk once again. The wait drags on. Banani, look, Ravioli left his book here. Papaia opens the book. Papaia, ugh. What a terrible smell of moldy coffee. Banani, read here, this chapter talks about the argument of the 5 minimal facts. Papaia, according to the author, they can only be explained by the resurrection. Banani, I doubt that's true. I think if you think about it a bit, you can find another explanation. Papaia, I agree. It must be a trick to sell books. Igor, the real trick was deciding to travel with all these useless suitcases. We are in the taxi. Finally, Ravioli shows up at the car window, all sweaty and with a worried expression. Ravioli, I turned the whole observatory upside down. The passport isn't there. Banani, I think you put it in one of your suitcases. We are on the sidewalk. Ravioli pulls all the suitcases out of the taxi's trunk and starts searching frantically, dumping their contents onto the sidewalk. The taxi driver, disgusted, takes advantage of the distraction and drives away. But Banani's suspenders are caught in the door. Banani starts running, being dragged by the taxi and yelling for help. Finally, Banani's suspenders snap, leaving him on the ground 100 meters away. Exhausted, they sit on the steps. Papaia checks his cell phone app. Banani and Ravioli are talking about the book. Banani, what do you think about the second fact? Why would the disciples lie? Ravioli, maybe they never said Jesus resurrected? It must be an invention of the church. Banani, that's true. It must be that. Ravioli resumes searching for the passport in the suitcases. Ravioli, this was the last suitcase, and it's not here either. Banani, now what? What do we do? Ravioli, hey. I found the passport. Papaia, thank goodness. Where was it? Ravioli, I had it in my pocket. What a fool I am. Banani, you're not just a fool, you're an idiot. You made us miss the taxi. Papaia, calm down. Arguing won't help. We need to find another solution. Igor, sometimes the truth is like Ravioli's passport, we can't see it even when it's right under our nose. We are on the sidewalk, in front of the observatory. Papaia's face finally lights up. Papaia, showing his phone, look. This bus goes straight to the airport. Banani, the stop is nearby, let's run. We are in the bus. After a few trips, they manage to get all the suitcases to the bus stop. The bus has arrived, but Ravioli is still picking up clothes and tools scattered all over the sidewalk. Driver, hey. Stop making a mess, the bus must leave. Papaia convinces the driver to wait. They load everything. But as they're finishing up, the driver speeds off, causing them to fall with their luggage. Finally settled inside, they wait to arrive at the airport. Banani, I'm curious to know what these 5 important facts are. Ravioli, they're listed here in the index, go ahead, read them. Banani, reading them like this, it sounds like one of those sermons they give in church. Ravioli, the difference is that we also have confirmation from non-Christian sources of the same events. Igor, life is funny sometimes. While these 3 scatterbrains stumble over their own luggage, critics of the New Testament stumble over their own cultural baggage. We are on the bus. They finally arrive at the airport. Driver, get off my bus. We are at the airport. The scientists hurriedly unload their luggage, which of course, bursts open on the road. Papaia, hurry up. We still have time. Banani, here's our line for check-in. Finally in line, they breathe a sigh of relief. While they wait, the discussion about the book continues. Banani, you said there are 5 facts, what's the first one? Ravioli, let me take a look, the first one is that Jesus died by crucifixion. Banani, come on. Jesus probably didn't even exist. Ravioli, I thought so too, but look here, there's a list of ancient authors, even non-Christians, who confirm it. Banani, I've heard of this Josephus somewhere before. Papaia, he was a famous historian, contemporary of Jesus. It's obvious that Jesus existed, but that doesn't prove he resurrected. Igor, After all the fools these three made me do, it's me who wishes I had never existed. We are at the airport. It's Papaia's turn to check in. Assistant, passports and tickets, please. Papaia hands the documents to the assistant. Assistant, how many bags do you have? Papaia, we haven't counted them yet. They count the bags. Papaia, there should be 20. Assistant, I'm sorry, but I can't check in 20 bags for 4 people. Papaia, we can pay the excess. Assistant, let me see your ticket, let's see what I can do. Papaia, here you go. The assistant starts typing on the computer. While they wait, the discussion about the book continues. Banani, hey Ravioli. Are you still reading that book? What's the second fact? Ravioli, I was just reading it. The second fact is that Jesus' disciples were convinced that he had risen from the dead. Banani, couldn't they have been a bit out of their minds from his death? After all, they had spent a lot of time together. Ravioli, maybe, but what matters is that they believed it was true. They preached it publicly and were willing to die for it. Banani, and how do the experts deduce this? Ravioli, it says here that Paul himself was a witness. Banani, but Paul's letters are part of the New Testament, which is full of errors. Ravioli, yet, almost all scholars agree that many of Paul's letters are authentic. It seems Paul personally knew Jesus' disciples. Banani, if that's true, we would have an eyewitness account regarding the disciples' claims about Jesus. Ravioli, that's what the scholars think. Igor, one day, I'll write a book as an eyewitness. Indeed, in the history of aviation, there's never been a trip as bungled as this one. We are at the airport. Assistant, excuse me, but what you gave me is just a reservation. Papaia, oops. You're right. I forgot to pay at the end. Assistant, I'm sorry, but you'll have to go to the ticket counter first. Suddenly, a thud grabs everyone's attention. Their suitcases have opened again. This time on the conveyor belt. Assistant, oh no. Look at this mess. Banani jumps onto the belt to fix the situation. Assistant, hey you. Come back. Get out of there. That's a restricted area. Banani, wait. Just a moment. I've gathered everything, I just need to close the suitcase. The assistant calls security. Banani is stopped and almost arrested. Their luggage is back with them, completely open and spilled on the floor. Other travelers watch them curiously. While Papaia is dissuading the guard from letting them go, Banani and Ravioli continue their discussion about the book. Ravioli, this book is becoming more and more interesting. Really, what's written in it makes sense. Banani, I was thinking about that creed you mentioned. Could it have been created by Paul or added later? How do we know it's authentic? Ravioli, the book delves into technical details, but it seems that almost all scholars, even skeptics, are convinced it's an authentic creed. Banani, if the resurrection is a legend, how do you explain this fact? Igor, I don't know if the resurrection is a legend. What I do know for sure is that in this airport, these scientists and their luggage are becoming an urban legend. We are at the airport. It's too late now. They missed the plane. Ravioli, hey Papaia. I'm starving. Lend me the card to buy that chocolate from the vending machine. Papaia, here it is. But be careful, don't use it directly on the machine. Withdraw cash instead. You never know, they could clone the card. Ravioli, ugh. ATMs are all far away. Everyone's using cards. And I also know the company that makes the distributor. Papaia, all vending machines are suspicious and unreliable. Look over there. There's an ATM right at the end. Ravioli, alright, as you wish. Papaia hands the card to Ravioli, who follows his instructions and withdraws cash first at the ATM. Ravioli, strange. It seems the card is having trouble fitting into the slot. The ATM suddenly shuts down. Ravioli, weird. The display just turned off. Ravioli spots another ATM a few meters away. Ravioli, there's another one. Thank goodness. I'll use that. After a few minutes, Ravioli returns to the others with his chocolate bar. Papaia is focused on the flight app. Papaia, there. I think I found a flight for us. Ravioli, pass me the card. Ravioli, in his chocolate-induced trance, hands the wrapper to Papaia. Papaia, what are you doing? Ravioli, oops. My bad. Papaia snatches the credit card from Ravioli's hand with a swift pull and starts entering the numbers on the phone. While they wait, the discussion about the book continues. Banani, so both Paul and the Creed tell us that the disciples were convinced they had seen and spoken with Jesus. Ravioli, do you know what that means? Banani, honestly, it still sounds to me like Bible. Ravioli, the creed circulated among ordinary people, it's oral tradition. Banani, basically what people were saying back then. Ravioli, exactly. Back then, 2 years after Jesus' death. Banani, wow. So that's not just a legend. Igor, these scientists are right to worry about what people were saying in the 1st century. But now they should worry more about what people are saying today when they see those broken luggage. We are at the airport. Papaia tries to buy tickets with the card, but it doesn't go through. Papaia, what's happening? The app says the card has been blocked. How is that possible? Ravioli, oops. They cloned your card. Ravioli tells the whole story of the suspicious ATM. Papaia, are you telling me my card got cloned over a stupid chocolate? Ravioli, but you were the one who told me to withdraw. Banani, guys, sorry to interrupt, but it looks like we're stuck here. Papaia calls the bank's customer service. Papaia, as I suspected. The helpline only reopens tomorrow morning. Ravioli, the good news is I have some cash left, we can have dinner with the products from the vending machine. Papaia, please. Hold me back before I do something I'll regret. Papaia lunges at Ravioli but trips over a small trolley, hitting his head on the ground. Ravioli hides behind Banani. Papaia gets up and goes outside the airport to calm down. Banani, the second fact seems more important and complicated. Ravioli, excluding the Gospels, we don't have direct testimony from the disciples. That's why the author presents indirect testimonies. Igor, just like Papaia, critics could have saved themselves a lot of trouble by trusting more in the direct source. We are at the airport. It's now midnight. Banani has improvised beds with numerous suitcases. Ravioli is using his last coins to buy chocolate from the vending machine. Papaia and Banani are talking about the book. Papaia, I took a look at Ravioli's book. It seems that according to the author, Paul is the main witness. Banani, I've read something too. It seems that Paul, in his own words, was a persecutor of Christians. But after encountering what he himself calls the risen Jesus, he converts. Papaia, maybe he was lying? Banani, why would he have done that? Papaia, true. He gained nothing from it, but instead was persecuted because of his testimony. Banani, that means he wasn't lying about his experience. Papaia, what can explain what Paul saw? Banani, a hallucination? Papaia, we have to consider that Paul was an enemy of Jesus. I don't think there's a hallucination so convincing that it could transform his life like this. Banani, maybe he was just remorseful for what he had done, and was looking for a way to redeem himself. Papaia, yes, but we also have the appearances to other groups of witnesses. Banani, this remains a mystery. Igor, the real mystery here is how we'll manage to get back home. We are at the airport. Igor is loudly snoring, deeply asleep. The three scientists are perplexed about the mystery surrounding the alleged resurrection of Jesus. Ravioli, another fact is the conversion of his brother. Banani, you mean Jesus' brother didn't believe him? Ravioli, not only did he not believe him, but he actually thought he was out of his mind. Papaia, if he didn't believe in him when he was alive, why would he start believing after he was dead? Ravioli, that's an interesting question. Sources tell us that James became the leader of the church in Jerusalem, until he was killed because of his faith. Banani, so the explanation would be that he also saw his resurrected brother. Papaia, he must have seen the same thing the disciples saw in the upper room. Ravioli, whatever it was, they thought it was Jesus. Papaia, come on, guys. We're in the 21st century. We can't believe in such superstition. We're scientists. Banani, yes. But then one of these 5 facts must be false. Ravioli, the issue here is that there is evidence, it's not a matter of opinion. Papaia, that's true. As scientists, we have to follow the evidence. And in this case, it leads to the resurrection. Banani, according to natural laws, resurrection from the dead after 3 days is impossible. Moreover, considering that Jesus appeared perfectly healthy and healed from his wounds. Ravioli, exactly. Those guys died believing their leader had risen from the dead. If he had appeared in bad condition, they would never have believed him. Banani, if natural laws do not fully explain reality, and the evidence points us towards a supernatural explanation, we can no longer exclude it a priori. Ravioli, I don't know about you, but I want to get to the bottom of this story. Papaia, true science is always ready to reconsider everything. Our duty is to seek the truth, not to maintain the status quo. Banani, that's right. Haven't we always accused the church of doing the same thing? Igor, half asleep surely. In the future, reflecting on the disasters of this journey, these 3 scientists will have a lot to reconsider.
They suddenly remembered, right at the last minute, that they had to go to a work conference. And so Igor and the scientists are working at the observatory, just like every day.
We are at the airport. The night has passed, and it's already 8 a.m.
He claims he found it
Papaia
on
finally
sale at a
calls the
stall.
bank customer service and unlocks the card.
But something doesn't add up
As they
for
rush to the
Banani.
ticket office, a flyer falls out of Papaia's pocket. Banani, careful. Something fell out from your pocket. Papaia, let me see. Ah, it's nothing, just a flyer for the conference. Banani, excuse me, what month is it? Papaia, I didn't think you were so distracted not to know it's June. Banani, it says here, Dark Matter Conference on July 23rd? Papaia, really? Let me see. Papaia reads the flyer again. Papaia, oops. It's next month. Ravioli, you mean we've been through all this trouble for a conference that's not until next month? Igor, at this point, the real scientific discovery is how you manage to complicate your life so much without even leaving the airport.